So I thought for today's practice, we'd work just a little bit with ideas of working with the breath. And breath work, or pranayama as we call it in yoga practice, is as big a part of our practice as the poses. It's as big a part as the balances and the standing strength poses. And sometimes we can get kind of caught up in feeling that we need to do lots of yoga postures, or maybe we feel frustrated if we can't master a certain yoga posture. So it's also always useful to come back to some of these other elements that are as important in our yoga practice as casting a certain balance or a certain pose. So what we'll do with this in mind is that we're just going to take an easy seat. So if you want to sit on cushions or blankets, feel free to sit on anything that feels comfortable. You can bring your blankets around you. You can take your time to get settled. The sit bones are going to root upon the earth, and as always, we're thinking about rising tall through our torso. Beautiful. So we're just taking our time to settle. Now, if it's comfortable for you, what we're going to do is we're going to place one hand upon the heart and one just on the kind of the low belly. If for any reason it's not comfortable, if you find that it's just too much on the shoulders or anything, feel free just to rest the hands and you can just bring your awareness to these areas. So we'll let our hands come to heart and belly if that's comfortable. I'm just going to let our final pupils. I'm just popped up in the waiting room. And already just by placing the hands upon heart and belly, we might be aware of the rise and fall of the breath. A sense of the warmth or even the weight of the hands upon the body. And you can do this with the eyes closed if you like. Maybe that helps you with that idea of drawing the breath inwards, the awareness of the breath inwards. And with one hand upon belly and one upon heart, it's quite a nice way to envisage a breath we've worked with before, known as the three-part breath. So you guys will leave your hands upon your body. I'll just show you with my hands. As we inhale, we consider kind of filling the whole body, the whole of the center, from the very bottom of the belly all the way up to the very, very top of the heart and chest and collarbones. And then as we exhale, we're releasing from the collarbones and heart down through center and all the way to the bottom of the belly. As if the belly were a count of 1, and then the heart perhaps 2, and then the very top of the collarbones 3, and then 3, 2, and 1 as we exhale. And having the hands upon the low and high points just perhaps allows us to sense that idea of rising breath and falling breath. And maybe you envisage it as a count of 3. Maybe it's a shorter number or a longer number, it does not matter. And we're just going to take a peaceful minute with this breath. Beautiful. If you've just joined us, we're just doing a little breath work. So we've got one hand on belly, one on heart. And as we inhale, we envisage the breath rising all the way through the body from the low hand to the top hand. And as we exhale, it falls from top to bottom. So we can all meet up in this lovely rise and fall of the breath. Within the practice of yoga, the breath is known as prana, which is why we call these breath works pranayama. This idea that it It is not just breath we are drawing in and drawing out, but the very essence of life and energy. We're moving that around the body as we take our easeful breaths. Beautiful work. So from here, if you wish to let the hands fall, just rest them upon the knees for a moment. And if you like, we'll just take a few shoulder rolls. You can, as always, do this in any way you like. So it might be that we're rolling both shoulders at the same time. We might do a little shimmy shoo or a shrug, whatever feels nice. We'll do a little bit of movement to complement our breath practice today. Beautiful. Maybe just one more roll with the shoulders. Then from here, we're just going to turn into a little twist. So I'll mirror you. We'll take the right hand on outside of left knee, left hand on the earth behind us. And we're just going to take a little spiral twist. We'll take a few easeful breaths. From here, we'll gently unravel. We'll take it round to the other side. Again, just taking your time, letting the hands guide that twist round. And then as we come back to center, we're just going to come to a forward fold. So you can fold over the cross legs if that's comfortable. If it's not comfortable, extend the legs out in front of you instead. So whichever works for you and your knees and your ankles today. We're going to hinge from the hips. So we're just going to walk or slide the hands forward. And we're going to let the head hang heavy. So take your time. Settle into this fold, let the head and the shoulders relax. We'll take a few more moments here. You can readjust and wiggle if you need to. And then when you're ready, we'll gently rise. We're going to come back to that easy seated position. Beautiful. So the second little breath exercise we'll do is known as the square breath, or the 4-part breath. You'll see why in a moment. I'll just show you with our eyes open for a moment, and then we can close the eyes and work with the visualization if we like. But what we do with the breath in the square breath is follow the shape of a square as we breathe. So what we do is we inhale, we pause the breath, we exhale, and then we pause the breath. So there's this little gap in between the breaths where we find this little moment of stillness. Now, traditionally, we use the count of 4 for this square, but as always, it's your breath, so you can take your time as you please. But if you want to follow me with the count, we'll inhale 2, 3, 4, pause 2, 3, 4, exhale 2, 3, 4, and pause 2, 3, 4. I'll just follow you around the square once more. So we'll inhale 2, 3, 4, Pause. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. And pause. 2, 3, 4. And if you wish, you can close the eyes as we continue the square breath. And it doesn't matter if your count is 3 or 4 or 5. But we're getting an even square for each breath and each pause. A lovely way to find a little space in between the breaths. We'll just take a few more moments with this breath. If you've lost the square or the count, don't worry. We can just take an easeful breath. It doesn't matter. And when you're ready, we'll just let the breath settle back into easeful rhythm. You can take a little roll with the shoulders, a little wiggle here if you like. Beautiful. So from here, we're going to come to ground. So what we're going to do, we're going to come to one of my favorite poses, soles of the feet together, knees out, and then we're going to recline upon the earth. And then the hands can go wherever you like. So they can rest upon the body once more if that was enjoyable. You can let the hands fall to the side. You can even have the hands overhead to help create this little opening of the chest space if you like. If you need extra support underneath the knees, feel free to bring cushions or blocks in. If it just feels too much on the hips, feel free to bring the knees together and have the soles of the feet on the floor instead. So lots of options here to do what feels comfortable for you. Beautiful. And then from here, we can add in, if we like, a simple cleansing breath, where we take a nice inhale through the nose. And we just sigh and exhale through the mouth. So we inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. So we don't need to count this one. Oh gosh. My little echo dot behind me is just talking at me. So we inhale through the nose and we exhale through the mouth. We don't need to count for this one. We just breathe easeful and slow. And if you prefer to exhale through the nose, you can, or if you want to make a nice sighing sound out of the mouth, feel free to do so. This lovely idea of allowing the breath to help let go, to carry away any busy thought, any tension, any stress. We can use the breath as a guide, a point of focus, but also a tool to help carry away, to help guide our intentions to let go. So we'll take just a peaceful minute with this cleansing breath. Beautiful. So from our place upon the earth, we're just going to stretch out long upon the ground. So we're going to send our legs long along the ground, arms long overhead, and we're just going to have a long stretch through the body. You can have a little shimmy, you can wiggle fingers and toes if you like. So it's just as though you're trying to reach both sides of the room at the same time from your restful place upon the earth. Beautiful. And then from here, when you feel ready, we're going to bring the arms back alongside the body. Then we'll move now into Savasana, our relaxation and meditation time, a place where perhaps we're used to bringing our focus in towards the breath. So a lovely place to do one more little focus on our breathing, but there's no rush as always. Bring in the blankets, bring in woolly socks, bring in cushions, whatever you like. One of the many joys of practicing at home is that we can bring in all of our favorite things, all our favorite cozy and warm things. We'll be here for a good 5 minutes or so, so bear that in mind if you think you might get chilly. Give yourself a little time to settle. Beautiful. So as we settle upon the earth, we'll let the eyes gently close. And we'll just let the breath be easeful and unhurried. No shapes or numbers here, just our own rhythm now. Giving the breath all the time it needs to rise and fall. And to let our attention and awareness settle upon that rise and fall. In our journey of meditation, all we are seeking to do is bring the mind to focus. We often use the breath as that point of focus because it is always with us, our constant companion. And as we bring our awareness inwards to that rhythm of the breath, as we draw the awareness inwards, perhaps we can allow the world outside to gently fall away. Any sounds, noises, busyness, thoughts of the workday, sounds of traffic can all fall away. As we find our point of focus with the breath, and let everything else fall away. Held within our practice of yoga, we find the worlds of meditation, pranayama, that may help bring our mind to quiet and let the distractions of the world fall away a little. Can you allow everything outside of the little microcosm upon your mat that is your body sink into soft focus? Can you allow yourself to switch off? It is not easy, but meditation, asana, pranayama can all help us find this peace of nothing more or less than the next inhale and exhale. Yoga invites us to peel away the layers of life and discover, who are we when we are not distracted by concerns of emails, schedules, and timetables? Of course, these layers of stress and busyness build up, and that's okay. This is part of being human. But take some time as often as you can to peel away, to step out of your layers and reconnect to your essence, your energy, your magic, your body, your breath, your heart. And so, my beautiful yogis, on our next inhale, we might just let the breath be a little longer, a little deeper than the last. We might take a stretch or a wiggle, whatever feels nice, as we begin to bring our awareness gently back to our body and back to the room. There is no rush. We may want to bend the knees and pop the soles of the feet on the floor. And perhaps we roll to one side in that little yogi recovery pose, just so that we don't ping up too quickly. And just when you feel ready to do so, we'll gently rise to an easy seat. So we're coming back to the place we started. And we'll just take a final moment just to be, just to breathe here. And to finish our practice this evening, we're going to bring the hands to heart center in prayer. We're going to take a nice deep inhale, sigh and exhale. And from here, we can gently open the eyes, and to ourselves and each other, we say namaste, namaste. The light in me honors the light in you.